All right, good morning, guys. We have another interesting morning. All right, AYTU selling off right here in the beginning. AYTU had they expanded their distribution rights to reach Canada and Mexico, and it barely moved off of this news, which, in my opinion, is pretty wild, considering that BMRA had a decent press release yesterday about testing kits and has now ran up to $20. So there's definitely something going on with AYTU. And I think it's what I was saying last week. AYTU has a very, uh, it has a lot of short interest in its past, and even as recently up to February 28th. So I think there's a lot of shorters right in this area holding this down. This 185 to $2 area. So right through here, bunch of shorters. February 28th would have been back here. These shorters have got to be holding it down. Something's holding it down. What's up? Good morning, guys. But you can't tell me that that this press release is, especially this one, it basically says they're targeting the whole North America for their test. Like that type of press release, and we only get, a 15-cent run up because it was at 165 yesterday. That's where it closed at in after hours. So there's definitely something holding this down. There's no reason for it to not rip harder than this. This is a very minuscule move. So until enough buying volume comes in to push through $2, this is gonna stay under $2. Like I said, I feel like there's probably a ton of shorters through here. But once we break through $2, these shorters are gonna start covering, and that's when you're gonna get a short squeeze, and this is gonna rip. At least that's what I think. But there's got to be something. Like, there's no reason we should be back down to the same area we was at yesterday after this press release. And yet BMRA has ran all the way up to $20. So Wader's a good one. Man. All the way up to $4 today. So I probably wouldn't touch this right now. I'd wait for some type of pullback on Wader. Maybe back down in this 240 area if it gets there. Ripping hard though. Very nice rip so far. SPY is down. Ooh, SPY selling off right here in the beginning a little bit. No, we still have this. We have a little bit of support on the SPY at 234, but I'm expecting that to crack soon. It cracked yesterday. It had a pretty good drop. Then it had a rebound, but you look at this downtrend channel. This 234 is there, and several times the candles have gotten down to the bottom line. So today could be that day where it drops pretty low. Daniel, Berg halted. That's another fast food one. I don't know why Berg would even get any attention right now. I don't think they deliver. It's not a delivery service. Announces results of shareholder vote. Record date, spinoff. So I guess they're just having very high. Oh, let's see. They got a merger. What are they merging with? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm a little familiar with Berg. In the past, I thought it was just a restaurant chain or something, but I don't really know for sure. Yeah, there's not enough tests. Every governor of every state has been saying that there's just not enough tests. So, you can say, Daniel B, that this is priced in. They're pricing AYTU's test in at this 150 area, but I highly doubt that. There's shorters sitting right here. AYTU's float is not that big to where retail traders can't move it. So I don't think it's priced in. And they couldn't have priced this part in because they wouldn't have known about this yet. The rights to Canada and Mexico. I mean, if they drop these 100,000 tests and then they order another million tests and they say they're dropping tests in Canada, Mexico, and the U.S., then the $1.40 area, it's not priced in. Let's see, we got another one. Chef had a little run so far. Chef Warehouses. So it's probably a restaurant thing. Or restaurant supply place is what I would think. Apron all the way up to $25. So the big rips have been on these fast food restaurant things and these delivering services. And then, of course, BMRA, which looks like it's wanting to break 20. So, there's definitely some opportunities right now to make some money in the market if you're looking in the right places. And I do think AYTU is eventually going to get it. It's going to have its day. Whether it's today or not, I don't know. Usually the stock market usually has a what do you call it? Like a crowd mentality. It has like Daniel, listen, it's not overpriced. If you go look at all the analyst price targets, they're at least at $5. This is not it's not been priced in. You're the only person who thinks it's been priced in. If you're right, I would be shocked. HTBX is still riding. It dropped down a little bit in pre-market. Had a quick back up to 60 cents. So it's still, it's still kind of going sideways, consolidating. HTBX probably is not going to rip until it gets another press release about what they're doing with their vaccine and all that. So I mean, it's just kind of consolidating, going sideways. It may be, maybe next week before they come out with another press release. So it could just keep going sideways. It's got a lot of resistance at 75 and $1 and $1.25, so it's going to need a lot of volume to really get it going. So it'll take another good press release for them to get going. Listen, if you're right, Daniel, I'm gonna buy you a beer. If AYTU never ever has its day, then I'm gonna buy you a beer. I don't know where I'm gonna buy it at since everything's gonna be closed, but I'll buy you a beer, because I really doubt that this is as high as it's going to go. But I could be wrong. You never know. Another thing I was thinking about that could be a reason why this is getting held back. Besides the short, I definitely think they're shorting in there. The short interest, people want to short this stock. It's had a past history of shorting. But the other thing I'm wondering, is it manipulation by the company, or maybe is it manipulation by its competition? Like, what if BMRA is holding this down at $2 because they don't want AYTU to get all the attention? They want the attention on them. I don't know. It's just thoughts. I'm just trying to figure out, you know. It's behaved properly. I put it on the 10-day. Listen, let me tell you. Let me show you. Put it on the 10-day. It had its initial rip. It's dropped down. Okay, it broke that initial downtrend. Now we're on an uptrend. From like back here. Whoops. We're on a slight uptrend on this. Okay, and this is a nice build up. You don't always get rips right away, and the longer the build up to a rip, usually the harder the rip will be. And we've not had any press releases yet that are that mind blowing on AYTU. We've had some good press releases, but they're not mind blowing either. They just was talking about their test last week, that they've got one that's good, and then they're talking about they're accelerating their process, and now today they're talking about they've extended their rights. So we're getting a build up, and it's not like any of these press releases were to the moon type press releases. They were decent press releases. So as soon as they say that they are shipping test out, like BMRA said, then it could get that rip. So it'll get there. If it doesn't, then like I said, I'll be surprised and I'll buy you a beer. But I mean, it is on somewhat of an uptrend. And the 9 EMA has been coming up too slowly. But here's the thing, we're above all indicators. Okay, so there's no more indicator resistance right now. The only resistance that this has is right here, 185 area and $2 area. This is a major resistance area. And shorters know that. They know that's a major resistance area. So they're going to be sitting in this area and holding this down. And then after $2, you have like $2.50 and $3. And that's it. So there's not a lot of support once you're through $2. So that's all it's going to take is for this to break through $2, coverage to short, and it's going to rip right through all this resistance. And then it has plenty of room to go. So, I mean, you can see BMRA, it's above all indicators as well. As soon as it got above, all indicators, and its resistance looks like it was at 360. As soon as it got through those areas, it shot to the sky. So, good Lord, what a rip so far on BMRA, all the way up to 23. So yeah, if I'm wrong about AYTU, I'm wrong, but we'll see. WB is always spicy. Yeah, Waiter is definitely was a good one for sure. And I said yesterday the break of $1 would be a good entry, that re-break. But I'm not stuck with my hope. I'm not hoping on AYTU, Daniel. I'm going off of statistics and facts. It's It's not that I'm hoping that AYTU is going to rip. AYTU has everything possible it needs to rip except for that one really good press release. Like, these shorters sitting here in that area is fine. Like, that's going to cause a short squeeze eventually at some point. You know, once AYTU has that good press release, then a short squeeze will happen. I don't know if it'll run as hard as BMRA. I don't know about that, but it will have its day. And I'm not hoping. You know, this is not a hope type of deal. I wouldn't know about the short interest and all that if I was hoping. I've done plenty of research on this. I've been in it long enough to where, you know, I've got an idea of what's going on with it. So like I said, man, don't worry. If you're right, you can clown me on it. You can trash me all day. You can trash me on the streams. You can trash me in the Facebook groups. And then I'll even buy you a beer. So be excited. If you're right, then you're going to have a fun time. But just know if you're wrong, Daniel, and I'm right. Just know. Better be ready. So Berg going straight up so far. Let me go back to the 5 minute so I can see some of these patterns. So Berg's going to have some resistance at 2, but after $2, probably at 250 and 3 will be some resistance. But I wouldn't touch Berg now. I'd wait for some type of pullback for sure. Unless it, I don't know, you might could look for an entry at the break of 2, but it is up already $1 so far since market open. How's the SPY doing? Let's see, SPY kind of, we were back down to that 232 area. This candle doji's out. It might, SPY might rebound a little bit. It's trying to hold up that 234 support. So that's what it's doing now. It's just going to try to test that 234 support. TVIX up to 950. TVIX did get all the way up to 1,000 yesterday. As soon as it hit 1,000, it had a pretty good sell-off. But, I mean, people are going to lock in profits. If they've been in anywhere down here on this, I could see why they were locking in profits at 1,000. But, you know, the market keeps going down. Then TVIX is going to keep going up. How's Uber doing in all this? That is Uber, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, Uber started getting a little attention here too. 14 up to 18 so far. It's not too bad. APDN at the break of 9. Let's see. Ooh, APRN still running. See, what are they talking about? Okay, they've come up with. So, see, APDN is one that was working on a vaccine, and now they're getting into testing kits. So, everybody is trying to get into testing kits right now because there's such a demand. Basic laws of supply and demand. When you have no supply and a bunch of demand, prices go up. So, with everybody needing testing kits, a lot of these companies are trying to get in there. Testing kits are an issue. Oh, you asked me about $9. Let me go back to APDN. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit out of it today, guys. I haven't fully woken up yet. Oh, so this got halted on the way down. Yeah, I think on anything, you're gonna want to wait for a pullback in this market. But yeah, you'd have to wait till after this halt, see how far it comes down. Maybe you could get a bounce off of 7. I don't know. I'd see where this comes out at here, out of this halt. We'll see. When did this get halted? It just got halted, I think. Yeah, it just got halted. So about 8:57. So we'll come back to APDN in a few minutes and check on it and see where it comes out of this halt. But I could see 7. Yeah, 7 should be pretty strong support. Let's see. You do have a little support at 750 as well. I don't know. I'd be watching it at 750 and 7 to see if 750 cracks. Then look for the 7 entry, but 750 might could hold up. It depends on how hard it comes down out of this halt. If it's going to be a big gap down, or just a little drop. Well, they got a price target at 60 for this stock. What is that for? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. See, IBO never did anything, so I'm glad I actually got out of IBO yesterday. But I was nervous. I did get out of IBO. If you're not in the Facebook group, I got out of it yesterday after the first entire market halt, just because I didn't want to be in there in a day trade with the market looking like it might crash, especially after Trump almost started World War III with China. That was an interesting press conference yesterday. Why do you call it the Chinese virus? Don't you think that's racist? No, it's not racist. It's from China. Oh, God. Yeah, so we got about a minute for this comes out of this halt. So let's see what happens on APDN out of this halt. You never know. You never know, Mark. It could get up to 9 still in this market. It just depends. Yeah, SPY is actually rebounding a little bit here. See if it's going to break over that 200-day moving average. So we go APDN. APDN has a very low float, so I could see it easily getting back up to 9 with this news. $10 is going to be where the real resistance is at. Yeah, nine's a little bit of resistance, but so you got some at 970. But yeah, if it breaks over 10. So okay, it's coming out of the halt now. Let's see. So it didn't drop out. Ooh, it's got a crazy spread though. Or it did for a second. So it didn't drop out yet. It's actually holding up the 9 here. See what we're looking like. It needs to get back above 8 on the 1 minute. And yeah, it needs to get back above 8 on the 1 and the 5 minute. Now it's starting to sell off a little bit. So now's where I'd be looking at $7.50 and $7. See if $7.50 holds up. Yeah, it looks like $7.50 is trying to hold up here. And while we're sitting here watching to see what this is going to do, let me look at something real quick. Let's see. What is the ticker symbol? I'll say yeah, 750 cracked. So 7 should be pretty decent support. Or it's just gonna crack right through 7. Quite a big sell off. So I want to look. I'm just trying to look and trying to see what. See Grubhub, Uber. I'm just trying to look to see what other delivery food apps there is that are public. Because there's a few of them out there, but I don't know. I don't think too many of them are public. I think Waiter, Grubhub, and Uber is the only. Well, no, let me think. Is Postmates one? Oh, Amazon. Amazon owns Postmates, so that's what I'm showing. So, oof, man. So 7 and 750 didn't hold up on this, so this is probably going down to 6. Let's see how AYTU is doing. Not anything particular with this pattern, except for we have a trend line. So I do have a bit of a trend line on AYTU. Because it is making this little reverse U for now. Getting held up at 175 again. You then you said you don't see any shorters sitting in these areas. What do you think these guys on the ask are? 24,000 shares, 17,000 shares, right there at 175. There's a bunch of big sellers, and I don't see why big sellers would be selling at 175. So I think those are shorters. They're holding it down. Yeah, 175 is 100,000 shares sitting on the ask out in one order. Look at that. That's more than 100,000 shares. This is like I think it's 1,000,000 shares that was sitting on the ask. So yeah, it's either shorters or a company is manipulated. They're either manipulating their own stock price or one of their competition is trying to manipulate it. Something. Because a million share order at 175 on the ask. That's not. I mean the stock was at 166 here. And pre-market or not pre-market but post-market before the press release even came out. So doesn't make any sense to sell that many shares there unless you're trying to short this or manipulate it. I don't know. So I do believe the only see Waiter having a big sell-off. See, the SPY is still coming up. What's going on? Why are things selling off all of a sudden? Yeah, SPY actually broke above that 200 there. How much more you got? See, 240 was support on the SPY, so 240 is now going to be resistance. And you can see right here in pre-market, this candle, this candle, this candle all hit that 240, and then it had this big drop off. So 240 is new resistance on the SPY. Okay, so Waiter just came out of that halt. Dropped to $3. Starting to rebound a little bit. But yeah, basically looks like people started taking profits up here. How's HTBX doing? Just still kind of going sideways. Ooh, AP. Oh, I was about to say the APDN get halted again on the way down. So it's trying to hold up a little 650, I guess 660 area of support there. Acres starting to come up. In on waiter. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, One Life killing it. Got a little entry there. Nice little quick day trade. Buying the bounce here at $3. Very nice, sir. Give me a few minutes, guys. I've got a call coming through. Alright, guys, sorry about that. I'm working on getting some extra capital freed up, so if the housing market crashes, I will be ready to make some more real estate investments. So, my bank is calling me at random times. Now I'm trying to move as fast as possible so that the equity is ready for when the housing market crashes, because that's probably coming next. So, look at the SPY. SPY is all the way back up over 243. What a rebound. This market is extremely volatile right now. So it looks like nothing is really going on right at the second. AYTU with a nice big sell-off. Everybody saw that that million share seller at 175 and started dropping their shares. So this trend line is cracked, but 200 is at 162. It's bounced off there twice. You don't really want to test in that 200 too much, but you know. It is testing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where AYTU closes by the end of the day. I would say the big press release for AYTU will be next week. I don't think they would release anything tomorrow, with it being Friday and the way Fridays have been. So you still holding on some of your position here on WTRH on Wader One Life? Let's see, Berg having a little bounce up. Still got half. Yeah, I mean, Wader's been climbing the last 2 days, so if it stops selling off, it could start climbing again. It's not like people are gonna stop ordering food delivery right now, so I could definitely see Wader climbing up some more throughout the day. Could have another pullback the way it looks right now, but One Life's taking a small position on BMRA as well. In at 18, you're already doing good then if you got in at 19. It's already up 90 cents. If it re-breaks 20, I could see it start moving again. See, it looks like it's fixing to try to test that 20. The MRA is moving in dollar increments right now, or at least 50 cents increments. It was right up to 20 and then right back down to 19. But you do have a little support. But I would definitely be very careful on this. Just because of how fast it can move up and down. If it happens to crack out. Okay. Let's take a look at the SPY here. So it got held up at that 243 area. I'm just wondering if this is Fed money that's pushing the SPY up right now. Because after this crack here yesterday at 234, it definitely shouldn't be higher today. But it may end up being. They may be pumping some money into the markets or into something. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Globe. Sees the globe in recession territory. That guy's saying we'll likely see a V-shaped recovery. A lot of people have been talking about this V-shaped recovery, and it's basically where the market goes kind of straight down like this, and then once it hits that bottom, it's going to come straight back up. Which, if that's the case, if it does do a V-shaped recovery, you know, you could stand to make a lot of money in a short period of time, but that seems like hopeful thinking to me. I mean, people are calling for global recession now, and some of these analysts are saying, no, we're gonna do a V-shaped recovery. That sounds wild to me, but it could happen. But until it breaks over this down channel, there's not even a question whether or not it's rebounding. In fact, I would say this is probably its last rally today of this week, and then tomorrow, because nobody's going to want to hold anything over the weekend. So I imagine tomorrow there'll be a pretty big sell-off, and we'll see this down even lower. That would be my question. Do I think Planet 13 will drop below 50 cents? It's very possible. Let me see where it's at. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Here we go. It is very possible. I mean, if the market keeps selling off, it could be down to a quarter at some point. You know, it's just going with the market right now. The market's crashing, so Planet 13 is going to crash just like everything else. So yeah, I could definitely see it down in those areas. I would just keep an eye on it and wait to see where the bottom is going to be. Nobody can really predict where the bottom is going to be, but as long as the SPY is in this channel, then it's definitely going to continue to go lower. Let's see, WTRH. It looked like you got a little bit of a U shape starting to form on Wader. If it can get back over the 9 and the VWAP, that's not a bad idea. Because if it doesn't get over the 9 here soon, it might sell off. But it is a little bit of a U shape, kind of ugly, but it still is. See, what are we doing here, HTBX? HTBX doing a little slow climb. It's almost over this downtrend. See, AYTU not really. AYTU did bounce off of the 200 day. What's SFET doing? SFET's not doing anything yet. I'm keeping SFET on watch just because if it ever breaks over 250, it does have room to run up to 1759 if they come out with some type of good news. I don't know how much more good news it can really come out with because it's not really looking for tests or anything like that. It's just they have some type of remote access solution for people to work at home. Yeah, I know, man. I know One Life. That's why I was trying to make a day trade on IBO, man. When you don't day trade for a while and you're used to day trading every morning, you kind of start to miss it. You kind of get bored. You're like, oh man, I like making that daily money. Yeah, exactly. I missed the action too. I'm ready to get back into it, but I've got to wait for these swings to pan out. You know, HTBX is still holding up, so I don't want to get out of it yet. And then AYTU, same thing. AYTU's been slowly gaining momentum again, so. And then as long as the market's crashing, I'm going to keep holding TVIX. So all three of my accounts right now, I'm pretty much all in on swings. Oh, there you go. Brought that average down. That's a better average. I like that a little bit better than that 19 area. I would just be be very careful in case this turns around on you. Because it could drop pretty quick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd have my finger on the trigger ready to sell in case it starts turning around. Right now you're okay, but I'd like to see it get back up towards the 19 area. So that's the thing with low float stocks. If anybody's new to day trading, low float stocks can move very fast, and if you don't have the best entry, you know, you can stand to get killed on a play like this. Like I don't think your entry is terrible on this One Life. I think you got a pretty decent entry, but you know as well as I do, there's usually always a little bit better of an entry. Oh, you're watching a 20 EMA? I don't have that one on here. I would say you want 18 to hold up. If 18 doesn't hold up, it could get real sketchy. because it held up this candle and this candle and then this candle. So if it cracks, could get a little gross. See what's going on with USDP. USDP. USDP of USD partners. Let me look what this USDP is. I feel like USDP is a food like I feel like it's a food distributor. Like Cisco or Reinhardt or something, but I don't really know for sure. So let me look this up. Oh no, I'm completely wrong. Completely wrong. They operate energy-related logistics assets, including rail terminals. So basically, this is probably getting a move because there's going to be so much stuff getting shipped. Whoa, that's actually... see, I'm on BMRA. That's not what I'm talking about. BMRA is getting back up, though, so that's good. But USDP is... getting a move because all the medical supplies and all that stuff that's getting shipped, it's probably their railings or something that has to do with trains, I would imagine. So that's why that's moving. Phew, I'm nervous for you, One Life. This is a sketchy play you're in right now. It's kind of getting a little crazy. Like I said, I'd like to see it get back over 19, and I'd feel a lot safer if it was over 19. Looks like it might try for it here. 15-minute chart. Let's see. I don't think I have the 15. I'll look out on the 30. Yeah, I'm sure that's what you're seeing. It's a U shape probably. Because on the 30, it looks like a little small U shape. So if it gets back over 20, you should be good. You should make a decent amount on this. So 925, 930, or 1930. Yeah, I like it on the 30 too. So it is above the 9 on the 30. So yeah, I'd just be looking for that 20 break, and you just want it to stay above. Ooh. Ooh, you definitely don't want it dropping down too much here. That's about as low as you want it to go. Stop loss got hit on Wader. Yeah, Wader having a bit of a pullback there. Let's see, redo this trend line. See if we're starting to get any pattern on AYTU. Nope, not yet. Yeah, this really needs to start holding above 19 soon. So where's the SPY at right now? SPY looks like it's trying to hold up, but we are starting to get a curl around on the SPY. Let me look at this on the 30. My Thinkorswim just freeze up? My Thinkorswim just froze up for a second there. See, APDN dropped all the way down to 550. That's a pretty good drop from $9 to $5.50. What's up, Patrick? What do you mean story? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, did you just get hit one life? Let's see where BM. Oof. Oof. Yeah, man, that was rough. That's a rough drop. And it got halted on the way down, too. So you did get out one life? That's what I was concerned about, was how fast it moves. I mean, that cracked 18 and just dropped a lot. So that's pretty rough. Yeah, now with that candle on the 30-minute, it's a reverse U shape with the fishing rod deal. Ah, okay, gotcha. I did not know that. Gotcha, Patrick. So, yeah. I mean, right now there's not a ton going on. There's been some rips. BMRA continued to rip all the way up to 23 today. Then dropped down. Wader got a nice move up to 440. And then it's had a sell-off. And then there's just some other random stocks like Play ripping hard. Why is David and Buster's ripping so hard? That's interesting. I can't imagine. It adopts poison pill? What does that mean? %15 trigger plan. Let's see, Spies looks like it cracked. If I'm reading that right, yeah, okay. Come on, Thinkorswim, stop lagging. So yeah, we hit the 243 area on the SPY, and then it's coming straight back down again. It's already kind of cracked through 240, but this could keep cracking here. I'm not really understanding why David and Buster's has went from $5 up to $10 today. That's kind of confusing to me. I'm trying to figure it out. It is a restaurant, but they don't do any delivery or anything. This plan they've done. Let me look at this. Let me actually read this press release. I'm just trying to see what their plan is. Oh, okay. So basically, nobody can buy up all the cheap shares of David and Bustard and own it. Is what I'm seeing. They can't buy enough. They're going to limit, I guess, the amount of shares that somebody can buy. Yeah. So that's basically what that was. PLAY. But yeah, it's basically it gives the shareholders uh, a way to keep the company from being bought out. Like if some random guy who had because it doesn't look like there's a lot of shares. 30 million shares is pretty low for this big of a company, I would think. So that's a pretty low float. So if somebody decided to load up, say somebody's been saving a couple $1 million and they decide to load up on Dave and Buster's, they potentially could uh, buy 51% of the shares, and then they would be majority owner of the company and they can make decisions. So you don't want random people being able to be a majority owner just because the market crashes. You have some crazy guy who does that, and then David and Buster's turns into a strip club or something crazy like that. So that's what they put that in there for. I don't really see that as a good enough reason for it to rip this hard. I mean, it was as low as it's ever been, and now down here at almost 461. So I guess this could be a bounce too on top of it. I think a lot of investors are thinking this 240 line and this 240 235 area. I think a lot of them are thinking this might be the bottom, and I think that's going to be a big mistake on their part. But I could be wrong. I'd really be shocked if that's the bottom. But I mean, we are seeing a bunch of random stocks rebounding today. Let's see. Let's look at some of the big boys and just see. Yeah, so Microsoft was all the way down at 138, came back up to 148. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a good play on Dave and Buster's for sure for a day trade. I mean, this would have been beautiful, but I definitely would not have expected this type of run. So it may be interesting. Things could get interesting. Now, so Carnival Cruise finally had a rebound today too. 882 up to 1040. So this is what I'm talking about. We've been going straight down. I don't think the market is rebounding right now. I don't think there's no way. Because I said it, I don't know if I said it yesterday or the day before, but I was talking about if this 240 area keeps holding up, then it is a possibility that could be the bottom, but I just don't think it is. I highly doubt it is. That'd be wild. Because we're not out of the woodworks yet, so we have to get to the other side of the curve of the coronavirus before I would even think that the market would start rebounding. Who knows? And then tomorrow's Friday, so I would expect a pretty big sell-off tomorrow. But we gotta keep an eye on it. If 240 keeps on holding up day after day, and things start looking a little bit better, we could be at that could be the bottom. I don't think it is, but there is a possibility. So we'll just have to see. We'll see where SPY is at next week. Because like I said, tomorrow I think is going to be a pretty good sell-off. So nothing really going on right now besides random rippers and stuff like that. And it is getting a little bit later. CTX, TRTX. So I want to see what's going to happen the rest of the day. No, I wouldn't swing it either. I wouldn't swing anything that's not coronavirus related or inverse ETF at this moment. Let's see, it's another one that's rebounded today. Up to $8. So a lot of things have kind of ripped today of these other stocks. There's a rebound there on IFMK. Just going down this top 10% gainer list and just looking at these, and these majority are all stocks that crashed out. Yeah. So it's definitely a rebound day today in the market. I just don't think this is the type of, I don't think it's a reversal of the entire market. I think this is just a little rebound because of how low the SPY got. Let's see, where was the low? Yeah, 228 was the lowest yesterday. So when it came back up, I guess this morning, people kind of expected some stocks to move. But yeah, I think that's a good question. Who sells ventilators? That's a very good question. Not to research that, but I think at this point today, right now, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to make any moves on anything until a little bit later in the day. I want to give the market a few hours to see where the SPY is going to go, and see what's going to happen. So, I think we'll call it here for the stream. Just because we are getting closer to that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I kind of want to wait till I want to wait till after lunch. I'm sure they're going to have another press conference So I want to see what they say on that press conference and stuff. We should be hearing something about how much money they're going to be sending everybody today. I know that's on a lot of people's mind. So yeah, we'll call it here. If you guys haven't joined the Facebook group, go join the Facebook group, Framework Fortune Day Trading. I will probably be doing another stream later this afternoon when we get closer to power hour, is what I'm thinking, to try to see how things look. So thanks everybody for joining me as always, and until next time.